It's clear.
Forever.
How's it? Hang loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Y, the channel. Oh gosh. I'm checking to see if this audio is going. I think it is. Yes, it is. Aloha, everybody. It is Saturday, June 6th. And we can put this on too. Yeah. Okay. And yeah. June 6th, which is, oh my, 82 years ago today, there's invasion of Normandy, aka D-Day, when the Allied forces, mostly American stuff, went onto the beaches of Normandy, Omaha, etc., on the coast of France, and they entered the, well, World War II, the European theater, and this is like 1944. This is some 3 years after Pearl Harbor. I mean, Pearl Harbor, everyone joined up. They were like unified. It was Japan. But you know, actually, when Pearl Harbor happened in 41, and then December 7th, Pearl Harbor, when that happened, it was a sneak attack on a military base. And the first thing America does is declare war on Germany, because they already knew of that alliance. They didn't declare war on Japan. That's kind of thought that was a little interesting. So, 44, this day, 1944, at first America's like, we're not going to send, people over there. But then, yeah, in 1944 there was an invasion, and that was like turning point, and it was hard fought, and many died. I'm not going to say what Trump would call those people. I don't like those dead soldiers who died for our country. They're losers. I was like, what the He was in Normandy one time. Anyways, yeah, 82 years ago today. And the vlog, the news. Okay, the vlog, the birdies are kind of gone. Yay. I'm trying to get my sleep pattern back after staying up super late. It's not so far. Yeah. And I think it's a calm day, so I'm going to try to make this short, but every time I say that, I'll try to make it short, so it's not too long. Okay, thinking of the regular news, Iran war is kind of up there. Let me just say some things about that. It cost $100 billion so far. $100 billion so far. Iran, as far as its demands, one of them, control over the Strait of Hormuz, so that's but butt heads there. And then butt heads. They're gonna butt heads there. And they want $24 million in reparations already. And Trump's gonna give Iran $24 billion. Well, it's kind of a small in these proportions. But you know why Trump doesn't want to do that? Because Obama did that before. He's like, that's what Obama did, and they called it, that's a mistake. Well, debatable. And there's other stuff. It's kind of weird, speaking of billions of dollars and stuff, is that ballroom. Okay, there's a pushback against Trump from Congress and some federal judges, which is a good thing. And all the while, the MidTerm Elections happening. Help me. How's that? There, I helped you. Oh, turned green. Oh, gosh. What happened there? We don't want the music on. Okay, just a second. Audio check. We got noise. Nothing like doing one of these things and the whole audio's gone. What happened?
I'm lost.
I'm lost. Okay. I'm lost now. Okay, let's go. The government. 24 billion. Oh, okay. The ballroom. That's what it was. The ballroom. So, Trump just tears down the East Wing. Everyone's like, what are you doing? These are things you can't do on your own, but what the heck, he started a war on his own from Mar-a-Lago, no less. Let's have a situation room, put up a curtain. Well, he'd tweet it in if he... the ballroom. Underneath is a bunker effect and a sort of a data center in the sense of he wants to conglomerate a lot of big tech people. And I just thought that's why they might have big tech, just like, all those Elons and Ellisons and all these big, huge, multi-billionaire. They were paid donors, but there's lots of other donors. He's saying, don't worry, it won't be paid by taxpayer money, it'll be paid by private donation. These private donations are big corporations, and each of these big corporations that donated, $10 million, that's a lot of money for the ballroom. Trump's like, it's going to cost $200 million. It's going to cost $400 million. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be made out of gold. The cost went up, but the donors, like $10 million or something like that, they would get government contracts in return. So, let's use Elon because it's a name. Elon gives $10 million and then he gets $1 billion government contract. Now, this is happening with all these big tech donors and all these other donors. So the millions that they did contribute is now contribute. Going English. Contribute. It was a debris or was it debris? The millions that they donated turn into billions that they get in government contracts. And the government contracts add up to about $50 billion worth of government contracts. So I think the taxpayers are paying for it with these gigantic government contracts. I just wanted to point that one out. And Trump's getting, I don't know, this pay to play. He says one thing and does the other thing, and he lies to the public. The trust in government's down to rock bottom. Of course, it's this administration. I think the trust in government went out the window somewhere where Nixon was going, I'm not a crook, and then he has to resign or be impeached. This is starting to go this way. Okay, this $333 billion worth of lawsuits and regulations against these companies was also dropped. So they kind of, in a sense, getting that back. We're losing that. And the weird thing is these donations that went to the ballroom, they would be channeled into a charity. Therefore, it's kind of blind where it goes now. And then it somehow went from the charity to park services. And then it went from park services into the bankroll of Trump about the ballroom. So, yeah, gosh. Wow. There's like a lot of stuff or whatever. MidTerm elections. Okay, so now we got those Democrats and those Republicans kind of battling it out in the talking heads with these primaries before the general elections of the midterm elections, and it's fierce. And California did an election with their mayor. They're electing a mayor and electing a governor. And these are big and populous and a lot of money too, and a lot of people. Always goes hand in hand. A lot of people, a lot of money. And they had the primary election for, like, the governor of California will be a big thing. Gavin Newsom is always Gavin Newsom. He's actually scared of Gavin Newsom. That's why he's so against him. So who's going to be the next governor of California? Well, now they're doing the counting is what they're doing. they're doing the counting is historically from as in it did before.
You won't understand.
I won't understand. I will understand. It takes a long time for California to count its votes. Why is this ringing? So it takes a long time for California to count its votes. So as it's doing that, as it's taking time for the returns to be counted, they're just already crying all over the place. Even Trump on to the public. You know why they're taking so long? It take long time because they're cheating. They're figuring out how to. They're cheating. But anyone can go there and watch them count the ballots right now. They can have inspectors and oversight seers, watchdogs, go in there and watch them count. And watchdogs, like Attorney that's what the federal Trump administration got rid of all their watchdogs. No one's watching them. There's no guardrails there. But they can go in there if they wanted to. But they're just like crying out in advance. Cheating! Cheating! So the seed is planted. The seed is planted. They fired the first shot. They're cheating. They're cheaters. And now the next thing, if the gerrymandering don't work and Republicans do a blue wave, Democrats do a blue wave and they win House and Senate, you can guarantee Barons they're going to cry. It's faked, it's phony, it's rigged, it's cheated. Get those ballots, we got to recount them. And so they're going to go in there and take the ballot boxes and do their own counting. Guess who's going to win there, right? So, and the funny thing is the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, used to be Tulsi Gabbard. Now it's this new guy. What is it? Poultry, whatever. He's the rooster, and he's Trump's old buddy that was a director of housing or something like that. He's kind of real estate guy. No experience in that espionage, intelligence. No, never had top secret. He has zero background in all that FBI, CIA intelligence gathering stuff, and he's the head of it now. Actually the head of that reports from those agencies, coordinating those agencies' input to give to the president. See, because it began in 9/11 when they found out after the bombing of the Trade Center and those bombs, those planes used as bombs, unfortunately at 9/11, afterwards analysis showed that the CIA and the FBI and these intelligence agencies did not coordinate with one another. They decided to create a coordination between those agencies. Which is the definition of red tape. The agencies don't coordinate, and there's no communication between them, so it bogs it down. So they're pretty bogged down, and then that vulnerability turned into 9/11 when they took advantage of it. So now they created an agency so we'll see those things coming. And this is the DNI. And it's been kind of just hanging around. Everyone who's ever actually applied to this thing had lots and lots of top secret ranking intelligence, deep experience in those areas. This guy's just a housing guy that used to work with Trump and still is working with Trump. So this is all blah 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 blah. But how can they call counting the ballots cheating when they're not even done counting? They're still counting. You're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating. What are they? They know that they're cheating.
Stay with me.
They're precognitive, like that movie Minority Report. They had the PreCOGs. I know that you'll be committing a crime in the future. Arrest him. I mean, he must take these ideas from these movies. PreCOGs. They know that's what's going to be happening. Day. Okay. Enough of that. it's a wild ride, and it's just the preliminaries of the primaries, which are preliminary primary. I gotta remember that because I get primary and general mixed up all the time. Anyways, just saying. Hawaii's got news too. We have traffic emergency. Apparently we have a lot of traffic accidents that have been happening. This one here, Hawaii, and this is a big island, Hawaii County, and it's a big island, and fiery wrecks on fire and such. And they're like, we gotta just fix these roads. What the heck? The Saddle Road in on the Big Island. Atlantis restarts Lahaina tours.
Dangerous.
It's dangerous. Look at Lahaina; it's all burned up still. They're still rebuilding Lahaina. Oh, what else is going on? The Aloha Stadium's being torn down. Familiar face, John Walker says that. Women's volleyball championship. They're trying to capitalize on the volleyball success, the volleyball team, and there's some college baseball, and that's about it. I mean, baseball. I don't know if it's college. It's baseball. Oh, back in the day. Remember 1975 when you want to relax? Just dress up the little kids. Have them go kimono out. 75. The Bon Dance at the Buddhist temples across the island. This group of dancers opens the Abumian temple in Nu'uanu. The
Continue.
Hongwaji temple in Nu'uanu. The Bon Dance is all about like, oh, we have sisters. It's Shinto. The kami, and anyways, Kami. Just to make sure. Those kamis. I say it wrong. So. Oh, let's see. Oh, political cartoon.
Iran, here are my demands.
He's caught in the mouse trap. That's a good analogy. I like that. Oh, and what do we got here?
Why does not need disrespect to tourists? Local businesses are held hard to society. Active state person
This one.
Hawaii does not need disrespectful tourists.
Igor
Excuse me.
Mikhailovich Ligtivnik is the type of tourist that Hawaii does not need. He claims that he was trying to protect some turtles by throwing a large rock at the monk seal to scare it away. In the video clip that was shared by Mr. Ligtivnik throwing that large rock at the monk seal, there was no visible signs of any turtles in the vicinity. Mr. Levinkchuk is an arrogant tourist who thinks he is above the law when a bystander told him that law enforcement had been called. He said he didn't care because he was, quote,
It's difficult.
quote, rich enough to pay the fines. This arrogant attitude of his should be guiding principle towards his conviction. And in my opinion, he should be punished by paying the maximum penalty of $50,000 and 5 years in prison. Dennis Nakamura, Mililani. Thank you, Dennis, for sending in your letter and talking in tutu voice. So, my finger scroll and it just goes. I have to work on that. This Igor, let's just say Igor there threw the rock at the seal as an arrogant a-hole, and they're, I don't know where he's from, Washington State or something like that. There's no way. He just made up that story. The criminals do that. I was on a jury trial. It was a homicide shooting in one of those gambling places. It was a shooting. They robbed the gamblers. And he was on videotape, which busted him. But the thing is, they know they're guilty, and they get the little lawyer, and they go, it wasn't my fault. It was self-defense. I have to talk like Bill Cosby, bad impersonation. But they always make the excuse they're not guilty. They'll try anything because they don't want to go to prison. But this guy, he made up the story that there was, well, the other protected species, the turtles, the honu, were over there. and that seal was going to attack the Honu, so I'm scaring it to... No, he was just a big old arrogant dick, and he took a big boulder and he threw it at the head of the seal, and it missed the head of the seal just by like inches. That's why the seal was all stunned. It was like, oh, what just happened? And yeah, he should be just, I don't know. Yeah, they should quote, make an example of him. So many people in Hawaii are so mad at that. It's a monk seal. They're really, really rarely endangered. And it's just, and everyone just like loves the little monk seals they go to give birth. Oh, look at the new monk seal. She's back. She gave birth to another puppy. And it's like going over. It's like kicking a puppy in public. Going up there. Hey, look, public. There's a puppy. I think I'll boot it over the fence. It's about that level of hatred that people have for this guy. Yeah, better have security, buddy. Okay, enough of that. Aloha, it's Saturday. Have a nice, relaxing, wonderful, blessed Sunday tomorrow. Today's Saturday. Aloha, I gotta make office. Aloha to you. Well, I gotta work on this. Aloha.
Okay, making aloha. I make so many mistakes, sorry. Look, aloha to you. Aloha to you. Nice day. Could be a beautiful day. Aloha. Aloha.